The biggest mistake people make when they're trying to consciously create their future is that they don't aim high enough. They don't dream big enough. And this is because they underestimate how much we change and how much we can change. If you look back at your life in the past 10 years, imagine yourself 10 years ago, then you're a completely different person. I'm sure your interests will have changed. Your experiences have led to so many different ideas within you, so many different beliefs within you. Your entire view of the world, of reality, has probably shifted quite a lot in the past 10 years. But they did a study where they tested how people perceive the next 10 years to be. So these people looking ahead 10 years would always think that they would just change a little bit. They would underestimate the next 10 years. They would tend to think that where they are right now is more or less the finished version, except for a few little changes here and there. And this just isn't true. We are going to change a lot in the next 10 years. You will be unrecognizable in many, many ways in the next 10 years. And especially if you're approaching your life with a view to grow, with a view to evolve. Now, if we recognize that at any moment, the state we're in right now, it's transitory. What we are right now is transitory. How we are, what we believe, how we behave, all of this is constantly evolving. If we perceive this more as we're works in progress, we're not the finished version. Just let that sink in a little bit. You're a work in progress. Doesn't that take a bit of pressure off? Doesn't that create a bit of space? Like all of a sudden you don't need to have all the answers. You don't expect yourself to know everything. You can just have a bit more compassion for your current circumstances, knowing that you're on the way to wherever it is you're going. So with that in mind, then we can start to loosen the pressure a little bit. And what that actually does is we start to err more towards a view of growth and evolution, knowing we're constantly changing, rather than trying to prove ourselves. So we're looking forward rather than looking back. And this all helps to propel us in the direction that we want to go. So when we hold a clear vision in our mind of the direction we want to go in, and we recognize within ourselves the potential to change internally, we start to collapse the distance between where we are now and where we're trying to go and where we're heading towards. We can achieve so much more than we think. We have in any current moment infinite potential at our fingertips. Usually we look back in our past and we see, so much that we haven't achieved the things we would have liked to have achieved. And so from that point of view, we then project into our future the same limitations. We start to project our future from the past. But the truth is that our past does not dictate our future. Our present moment is what matters. And so when you become aware how much you can change and how quickly you can change, when you really put your attention on it, then you start to realize just how much potential you have in the future you're creating. In this present moment right now, you can access so much. You're so unlimited when you are beyond the limitations of your mind. Your natural state is limitless. And so if we start to just tap more into this potential, more into this knowing, and recognize how quickly our internal state can shift, we start to create a limitless future for ourselves. We don't need to hold ourselves back. We can achieve far greater things than we ever would have thought possible. You know, I never would have been able to imagine personally what it would be like now for me. So if I go back in time a bit, before I actually said yes to doing this kind of work full time, committing to it completely, to guiding others through these kind of transformations, before I said yes to that, my life was very different. It was only after I said yes and I've been on this journey with this work that I've opened myself up to a life of, honestly, unbelievable synchronicities and this kind of flow to life, this sense of real meaning and alignment, like consistently in my days. I never would have understood that from my point of view in the past before I said yes. I simply would not have been able to predict what that felt like. And so this future version of you has access to these experiences that you just haven't got any awareness of or understanding of right now whatsoever. And when you have this access to these different types of experiences and you've grown substantially because of it, it enables you to do things that you can't imagine yourself ever being able to do right now. I never could have imagined that I even would have been starting a YouTube channel. But here I am, talking to you and sharing all these things that I genuinely believe are so powerful and important when applied in our lives. And so just take some time to really ask yourself, are you aiming high enough? Are you dreaming big enough? Which part of you is imagining your future? Is it your true, infinitely loving self? Or is it this memory of a lifetime that you've lived? Bring yourself into that present moment and create yourself a future which is truly aligned to your highest timeline.